Interactive Brokers just silently rolled out one of the best features that helps you to get up to date with the latest events, know what's recently happening on your favorite stocks, and the best of all, it saves tons of your time for research. Here's a step-by-step tutorial for you to use this simple yet very powerful tool, the IBKR Deeper Insights. And to access it is very simple. Just log into your Interactive Brokers Client Portal, then at your homepage, click Research, and there is an option for Deeper Insights, and that button will then lead you to this page with Market Bars. This feature gives you a super quick impression of how the market thinks these stocks recently. Is it good, or is it bad sentiment all around? Do people discuss about it at all? I mean, just a quick glance, you can see the overview of the attention of the market. So very instantly, you will know that Amazon, Nvidia, and also Google are the most mentioned US companies in the last 7 days. And you can also adjust the filter here as you like. You can switch to different countries anytime you like. United Kingdom, Singapore, and of course, United States. If you're only interested in a particular sector, for example, the technology industry, you can also tick the box right here and then narrow it down further to hardware, semiconductors, or software, up to you. And the cool thing is, this is a multiple choice filter, so you can tick as many as you like. And these are not just bubbles, you can also adjust the color, choosing between default, new sentiment, and also trend analysis. Red means negative outlook, while green, gives positive sentiment and an uptrend. Very simple, right? So I applied my filter and found out Apple is on a hot topic, but what has happened? Well, to find out, just hover your mouse cursor to each bubble for a preview, and then further clicking into it will show you the detailed sentiment and also news analytics. And right here, you can get the answer in most discussed topics. And you can also see here that it's because of their new product release and also their upcoming earnings call. So now you know that they are still going strong despite all the overheating complaints. And on the right, there is a column for news feeds that you can click into. All news here are published by Reuters, which normally costs around $35 per month for their news subscription. But here, thanks to Interactive Brokers, it's just free, and that effectively saves you about $420 every single year. So to get the most out of their free news, click the News Desk button, and the world of news is now right at your fingertips. You can always type your favorite stocks to look for the news, but here's something even better. You can set your own team of stocks. Click the plus new team button and give a name to it. Say I want Apple, so type it. Then I search again for Apple and then select the stock for Apple Incorporation with the ticker symbol AAPL. And then there you go. All Apple related news are now saved as my team, and I can easily check their news without having to type each of them out every single time. And you can add as many teams as you want, maybe even industry specific teams like technology or consumer staples. The freedom is all yours. And for my fellow traders out there, Technical Insight might just provide you additional help to decide your buy price. Head to the menu and click Screener. This helps you to look at various different options like stocks and also ETFs. But if you already have a stock in mind, say Apple, because why not, right? Just type it in. And next, pick a time frame, short, mid, or long term. And from there, you can either play around with the technical chart, or just scroll down to see the share price for the support and also resistance levels, which can be useful for you to plan your entry and also your exit points if you are trading something in the shorter time frame. And other than technical insight, there are also technical views and also featured ideas, which also mainly tailors more towards short-term traders. So feel free to explore it yourself. I'll just stick to what I do best, which is long-term investing. Now, everything I mentioned earlier was probably for the short to mid-term traders and investors. News will eventually pass, discussion will eventually cool down, but fundamentals will stay put, and that is what makes or breaks a company over the long run, or at least it tells you whether the company has a strong base or not. So to look at it, click at the Fundamental Insight section, and let's try with Tesla this time. And at a quick glance, you can see that Tesla has gained a score of 53 out of 100, very low, right? Measuring these 5 aspects: growth, value, income, quality and also momentum. It's interesting to see that Tesla has a super low score on value, which tells you that it is probably way overvalued based on the conventional valuation metrics. But it's also interesting to know that investors are still willing to pay a premium in return for huge potential growth in the future. So that is definitely a trade-off in terms of your risk to reward, and in this case it seems like it is more of a low risk low reward bet. And at the bottom left here, you can also see how does the company fit into different cycles or just seasons in the stock market, like how does it do during recovery, expansion, slowdown, or even recession. And that's because cyclical companies like Tesla over here follow the trends in the overall economy pretty closely, and if the economy is good and consumers are spending money and buying cars, then companies like Tesla will benefit from it, and the same is for the opposite as well. And at this moment, you can see that the rating is putting the US economy somewhat in a recessionary environment, which is not entirely impossible considering the US Federal Reserve is probably going to raise the terminal Fed funds rate or the interest rate even higher than they previously projected, and that will put a lot of strain on people's finances. And speaking of which, you must have heard this a lot on the news: CPI, PPI, PMI rate hikes, but what the hell are they? Well, fret not, because Interactive Brokers is here to save the day, providing you customized US economic calendar with explanations so you can read like a pro and act like a pro. And again, it's totally free. Just click into the last tab over here, Economic Insight. Let's customize it with the filter setting. We'll start with the importance level. The high ones are usually more than enough. Event type will be economic events, and as for countries, click G7 since the US is part of the G7 nation. And here we go, a robust US economic calendar highlighting the main economic events that you need to know as an investor. Personally, I will pay more attention to events like interest rates, CPI, which is inflation, unemployment rates, which is part of the monthly jobs report, PMI, or we call it the Purchasing Managers Index, GDP, the gross domestic product, and also the US Fed's FOMC meetings, which tells you more about the interest rates projection, etc. And if you're not familiar with any of them, for example, let's say I want to know more about the initial jobless claims in September, just click into the event and there will be a brief description of what is this about and also how you can relate this indicator to the US economy. Now, do not leave just yet without clicking into the chart where they have helped to turn data into a visualized chart, and that gives you the predicted and also actual data, and that will give you an advantage in terms of making an educated guess for what you can expect in the near future, because all these important macro data will definitely have an impact on the stock market. So if you already have a specific event in mind like the US GDP, just type GDP in the search column and the work is done. And there you go, deeper insights by Interactive Brokers, which I personally find it super useful for my fundamental research and also staying up to date with the latest macroeconomic events. But just a small note here though, this feature is currently only available on their client portal and you can't find it on the mobile app just yet. So in the meantime, if you want to learn more about Interactive Brokers and also get more out of your account, check out this video where I cover all the details you need to know about them. See you over there.